Hi guys, my name is Robert Fernandez and I will be presenting to you the leader Arsene Wenger. Wenger is a French soccer coach or soccer manager known for his long successful career in Arsenal FC, a soccer club from London. The reason I chose him was because of his determination and his strong belief in his core values, which led him to become a successful soccer manager. I also chose this leader because of his actions taken in order to reach that success. Here we go. Arsene Wenger was born in Strasbourg, France in 1949. He was the youngest of three children and was raised with a strong discipline due to his father's early enrollment in the German army. From a young age, Arsene Wenger learned the values of hard work and honesty by helping his parents run the family automobile parts business and a small restaurant they owned. In this small restaurant, Arsene was exposed to many drunk customers, which led him to make decisions later on in his life in order to help his soccer team become successful. His exposure his exposure to soccer began at an early age due to his father's coaching due to his father coaching the village team. He didn't begin playing competitive soccer until the age of 12. Since Strasbourg is fairly close to Germany, Wenger was taken various times to soccer games in Germany where he developed an affection for the sport. At the age of 16, Arsene made the first team with FC Duttenheim. Since Duttenheim was a small area, not much coaching, the team didn't really have a coaching staff. So Arsene took it upon himself to become the actual coach and player. He started showing leadership traits at a young age. At the age of 20, he was recruited by a third soccer team division named Mutzwig. His soccer career reached its peak in a third division team. Due to his slow pace on the field, he didn't have much success playing, but his ability to read the game led him to continue his soccer career in other areas. Wenger's soccer career as a player only lasted 12 years. Most of his playing career also consisted of coaching and leading his teammates. His last 2 years as a soccer player were mostly spent in the reserve, coaching the reserve and youth teams for the team in Strasbourg. In 1979, he enrolled in a school to obtain his manager's license, and in 1981, he was successful in receiving his diploma. In 1984, he received his first job as manager of Nancy, a French club. He didn't have much success there, and 3 years later, he found a new team. In 1987, he began his 7 year career as head coach of Monaco. In his first year as coach, he was able to lead them to a league title. He was able to repeat that success 2 years later in 1991, where he was able to obtain another title. But in 1994, his career ended. His career as Monaco head coach ended due to his ability to keep the team in the first division. That's when he made the move to a Japanese team called Nayoga Grampus, where he signed a 1 year contract, leading the team to two titles in one season. This was a very big move or a very big decision made by Wenger, where he realized this could have affected his career. However, he didn't think twice about going there. In the soccer world, moving into Asia, any team as a coach or as a player can really affect your career. Since soccer in Asia is not really big. The goal for many players and coaches is to actually participate in an European team where Wenger was already in. However, he decided to move to Japan, and he was able to obtain two more titles there. These two titles and this successful year in Japan opened up doors for him in Arsenal FC, a London club where he signed in 1996, and he immediately made changes to the club. um, I believe Arsene Wenger was an innovative leader, by the way he introduced his ideas to the team. He wasn't afraid as a young coach, basically a young coach with no history behind. He was able to step into a new club and wasn't afraid to take risks and make changes into this club. Some of the first changes he instantly made day one was the way he changed the team's nutrition, the training sessions, and the expectations for the team. He realized that the team would eat a lot of junk food, so he immediately cut that and started feeding them healthy food. And like I said earlier, at a young age, he was exposed to a lot of drinking, a lot of older people drinking, and this also influenced his decision on changing that in Arsenal as well. Before arriving to Arsenal, the players were used to just eating junk food and drinking, and that's one of the things that Arsene immediately cut off in order for the players to be able to focus more on their physical training and their performance. He believed the healthy nutrition will be key to getting players to their best physical performances. He helped various players make changes in their lifestyles to improve their lives and careers. He had one player who was close to an alcoholic, and he focused on that player and he shared his experiences as a kid where he was exposed to these drunk customers, and he worked with that one player in order to change his life and for him to focus more on his soccer career. Another change that he made to Arsenal was recruiting and buying young players. He's in this area he's very different to your average coach, where your average coach wants to focus on bringing a star, a big name to the squad. However, he focused more on bringing in young talent that wanted to develop their skills in order to be successful. He also turned Arsenal's playing style from boring to the best playing team in soccer. This helped them lead Arsenal to their first Premier League title in his first full season as head coach. He was able to bring in a second title, a cup, a smaller tournament into Arsenal as well, and he was the first foreign manager to win that a double title in English soccer. In 2003 and 4, he had his most successful season where he was able to lead Arsenal to two more titles and an unbeaten streak of 49 games. This was a record that had not been achieved in over 115 years. However, Arsene Wenger's success did not continue for long. In 2006, his downfall began when he reached the Champions League final, which is the most prestigious tournament in European or in club soccer. He was able to lead Arsenal to the final, but ended up in second place due to their loss to Barcelona. In 2007, he also lost an English Cup final to hometown rivals Chelsea. For the next 9 years, Wenger and Arsenal did not see much success. They were due to early eliminations or a lot of unexpected losses. He also, with this unsuccessful run, he many coaches would make a move to a different club. Arsene Wenger had many offers, but mainly from Real Madrid, one of the top clubs in European soccer, but he declined their offer because he wanted to dedicate his time and his hard work to Arsenal, a team that he felt he had grown with and he could continue to give much more. He continued to bring young talent to the team in order to strengthen the team. And instead of looking outside in different teams, he was looking at their youth teams and bringing in fresh talent from players that were already familiar with the team philosophy. In 2014 and 15, Wenger was able to repeat titles and bring them back to Arsenal. After this, Wenger did not see any more titles, and in 2018, he was able to say goodbye to Arsenal. He lasted 22 years in this team, and 22 years in a top club is a very long time. These coaches are exposed to a lot of pressure from the media, from the fans, from the players, And many coaches, successful or not, after 3 4 years, they call it quits. They need a break. But Arsene Wenger didn't let any of that affect him. He was able to maintain his career in in Arsenal for 22 years, something to admire. Although right now he has taken a break from managing a team, his legacy still remains, and he's still impacting the soccer world up to this day. He's still mentoring players as well as sharing his knowledge and his experiences with new coaches. He has revolutionized the EPL, which is the English Premier League, by by bringing affecting other teams' mentalities into hiring foreign coaches. Before his arrival to Arsenal, only one other team had a foreign manager. Teams felt they should hire managers from their own country. However, Arsene Wenger was able to change the mentality of many of these teams due to his success in Arsenal. This helped many more foreign managers manage top Premier League teams. Nowadays, 13 out of the 20 English Premier League teams have foreign managers. Before his arrival to Arsenal, there was only one. In these days, Wenger is focusing on working with FIFA, the soccer organization. His expectations or his intention is to share his knowledge and support and educate coaches in order to prove the sport. His desire to coach a team again still remains, but for now he's focused more on helping the sport as well. So as you can see, Arsene Wenger is a coach, in my opinion, is a coach to admire. He reminds me a lot of John Wooden, the UCLA coach that we read on a couple of weeks ago, because he's a coach that didn't focus much on winning. He focused more on the developing of players. He felt winning wasn't all. He felt if he was able to develop the best skills in a player, he was successful. In his 22 years as Arsenal manager, he was able to obtain 7 titles. And once again, in soccer, 7 titles may sound like a lot, but in soccer, especially in a top Premier League team, those 7 titles don't sound like much, especially to the fans or to the organization. But besides his titles, Arsene Wenger is known for the impact that he caused on this team as well as the entire the entire soccer league in England. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. I hope you guys were able to learn about a new leader, and I hope you guys um, continue looking up Arsene Wenger. Thank you.